Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Shelly, and I'm taking you with me on a walk today. It is an absolutely stunning day today here in Maryland. It's in the 70s. The sun is extremely bright and gorgeous, and it feels great just to be out and about. So I'm taking my dog, Jig, with me on this walk. I wanted to get back into walking. It's something that I did for the longest time, years actually, and eventually I just gave up because my back was hurting so bad. Now I've decided that I'm going to walk through the back pain as much as I can because I'm starting, or I have been, gaining the weight back, and that's not something that I want to do. I talked about reinventing yourself, and several years ago, that's what I did. Reinvented myself, dropped 70 pounds, started writing books and doing all the things that I had said that I was eventually going to do. I finally decided, if not now, when? Let's get this done. You're getting older, you're going to run out of time. And the last thing I want is to be put in my grave with a list of things that I didn't get done. Now, I can assure you, there will be things that I don't get done. I think everybody experiences that. But I want to tick off the important things, you know? I want to get the important things done, so that I can feel good about my life. Not that I don't feel good about my life. I do, but there's just more out there. There's more to life than what people realize. And the next thing that I want to do now, I went on a cruise to Alaska. That's one of the things. And I guess also I want to remain healthy so that I can do the things that I want to do. I hope you'll forgive me if this is bumpy. I'm using my GoPro today, checking it out. So we'll see how this works out. I really enjoy my GoPro. I need a gimbal for it, but that's another day. Anyhow, so I want to stay healthy, and I want to stay as fit as I can while I am, for as long as I can, while I can do it, because I've got things I want to do. So, come on, Jig, we're going this way, buddy. There's nothing I like more than walking between the cornfields. Feels so cut off from the world. I like that. I like to hear the light breeze going through the corn. So there are things that I want to do, and I need to stay as fit as I can to get them done. When I first lost the weight, I went and I started with a personal trainer, and that's all fine and dandy. She did a great job. It was a very intense personal training, and honestly, I don't think that kind of intensity is for everyone. Where did I lose my dog? There he comes. Come on, buddy. So that kind of intensity isn't sustainable for many people. My shoulders started to hurt because of certain exercises we were doing, and so we had to cut back there, and then so many things changed, and I gave up the personal training. And then 2020 came, and the group classes got cut because, well, to be honest with you, everybody was afraid to come and be around other people. So the group classes went by the wayside, and they don't have those anymore. So that stopped. And I started just walking around the farm like I'm doing now. with my crazy black lab who smells everything. We do have coyotes out here somewhere. I've seen them on trail cams, so I know they're here, and I'm sure he smells them. But anyway, there's physical things that I want to do. Physical things like I want to zip line. It's on my bucket list. Sure, it's not on everybody's bucket list, but it's something I really want to do. The other thing I wanted to do was iFly, which is a skydiving experience. Now, I was able to do that on the cruise that I went on. We went on a cruise to Alaska, and I got to do iFly. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't like some of these places where you go up 20 feet. We probably were off the ground maybe, I don't know, 6 feet, 8 feet at the most. But you cannot be over a certain weight, and you can't have any of these certain pre-existing health issues. So I was able to do that. I had gained some weight back, so I was a little afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it. But I was able to do it, and that was an amazing experience to feel like you're skydiving and not have the ground that far away from you. Pretty sure I don't have the courage to jump out of a plane, but you know, it was on my list. Got that done. The next thing I want to do is, like I said, zip line. I have a place in mind. Haven't quite made it there yet, but I'm going to. Right after I lost the weight, my husband and I started doing a lot of hiking, and I'm not talking about regular walking like I'm doing now. I'm talking about hills and trees, and not trees. Well, climbing over dead trees, if that counts. Climbing over dead trees, doing down in the hills and over rocks and through creeks, and we shared amazing experiences. I got to see things that, to be honest, you know, if I hadn't lost the weight, I would have never seen. I would have never gotten to see some of the waterfalls and the different beauty that I wanted to see, except maybe in pictures. I don't want to live life in pictures. I want to live life in real life. So that has inspired me to get back to my exercise routine. It is not going to be as vigorous as it once was, as I do have a herniated disc, and it's causing me some pain, even as we speak, down my right leg. It is getting better. I've been using heat and ice, alternating, and taking naproxen, which is an anti-inflammatory. So that's kind of helped. Been doing some stretching exercises, which has helped. Now I think that getting back to some good exercise will be even more helpful. At least I hope. So I hope you guys can give me some words of encouragement and support in my endeavor. The next thing, I started the exercise again. The next thing I'm going to do is start cutting back on some calories. Of course, not starving myself. That's not something I'm real good at. But cutting back, I know that I'm eating too much. So I need to do that. Plus, I'm off my antidepressants, and as I talked about in a previous video, antidepressants can cause you to gain weight. But also, so can stress, depression, and many other things. So there's a lot of factors in that, and well, you know, got to take one day at a time, do the best you can. I have a bucket list of things that I want to get done. I'm taking a cruise in February. It's a 2-week cruise to Hawaii. Now, there's a hiking path there I always wanted to do. I don't remember what it's called. straight up this mountain. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's any amount of training going to get me ready for that. So that is going to be off my bucket list. Simply because I'm not interested in dying. When I say straight up, I mean it's even your most fit and healthy young people can struggle with that hike. So I'm just going to look at it from afar. But Hawaii is on my list, so I'm going to knock that off. Knocked Alaska off my list. Oh, come on, buddy. Can't eat the corn. Well, you could if you wanted to, I guess, but he enjoys these walks. He has to mark everything. He wants the coyotes to know he's been here, and the foxes. We do have some foxes. I've seen them, heard them. There's lots of deer out here. Of course, there's lots of food for the deer, you know, so. But if I follow this path, I've got it mapped out. I can make it a 2-mile walk. Now, I'm not quite ready for that just yet, but I'm going to work myself up to it. I was watching, as I talked about too in a previous video, sometimes you can watch other YouTube channels that help motivate you. And I just watched one that really, really stuck with me, got me motivated, got me thinking about the weight that I lost and the weight that I've gained back. And I am concentrating more on the fact of how much I've lost and kept off, as opposed to, well, you know, what a bum I am, I've gained back. I'm still down a good bit from where I was, so I'm going to concentrate on that and keep moving forward. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that's about, the dirt there. I have to ask my father. This is his property. He does grain farming. We've got the soybeans harvested. The corn is up next. So it's up here. I'm up here on a hill, so there's a lot of breeze up here. Not that Maryland has that many hills, but I'm up higher than the rest. And it seems like this area gets a lot of breeze. I'm getting ready to go around this corner. This corner up here is in the spring. There's a lot of deer up here, and in the spring we get to see a lot of fawns, a lot of babies, and they're so cute because they just kind of lay there, thinking you don't see them, and you can almost walk right by them. They'll just be as still as they can be. There's a nice little woods up here. This is where we come to get our wood to burn for the winter. You can see you might be able to see some dead trees there. They need to come down and be harvested for wood. I did buy some oil. I wanted to get it before it got too cold here. I got 200 gallon. Cost me $510. Seems like a lot of money to me. I can remember paying 99 cents a gallon. Not sure how it's going to go after the election. You know, I hear people talking, oh, it's going to go down after the election. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. You don't know. These aren't the same times that we lived in 20 years ago. These are different times. You have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't count on it. You just can't count on it. So you got to do what you can while you can. We have right around this corner here, I don't see any animals. I know they're here. But if you'll see up here, this road keeps going. I'm not going to go much further. I'm going to turn around. But to the left, on the left side of this road, there is, well, there used to be sunflowers. That was a big sunflower patch. We have a really pretty sunflower patch about every year right there. Okay, we're gonna head back. Come on, Jig, we're going back, buddy. Still some butterflies flying around. The air is amazing. I just wanna live in the moment. I've been working on that. I have a hard time sometimes, and I think that was part of the depression that I experienced. I live in the past too much. A memory would come up, and instead of just remembering it and smiling about it and realizing, you know, it's gone, I would stew on it. I would think, oh, how sad it is that things aren't like that anymore. Times have gotten, you know, different. And then I started reminding myself that over the years, everything has changed. I think about, you know, what my grandfather saw. You know, he saw people or things change, and, you know, that was an empty lot, but now it's a supermarket. That kind of stuff would kind of make me sad, but there's nothing I can do about that. And again, like I said, my grandfather saw that stuff. My father, my mother, my grandmother, they all had to change. Change is a part of life. And as I mentioned in a previous video, life is fluid, and you've got to learn to have some fluidity and go with it a little bit, because you can't change it. I've lost my buddy. Come on, bud. Come on. You can do it. He's about 7, 8 years old. We're not entirely sure. The reason being is he's a rescue. Now, he's not a rescue in the traditional sense. He is a rescue in that he was at a bus stop at a trailer park where my daughter was bus driving. He got up on the bus and he went and sat down in the seat and refused to leave. So she questioned all the kids on the bus, and they're like, nobody owns him. We have no idea who he is. He's just showed up in our neighborhood and we've been feeding him. So, being the dog lovers, animal lovers that we are, my daughter opted to just bring him home on the bus. Well, needless to say, she was reprimanded for that, because there's a no animal policy on the school bus, but didn't stop her. She's her mother's child. Didn't stop her, and she went on to be a bus driver trainer, so it didn't hurt her job. But anyway, that's how he came to us, and we took him to the vet to see if he was chipped. We did all the things, and nobody claimed him. One vet said, you need to take him to the SPCA, the shelter, and drop him off there. Somebody's looking for him. And my response was, I'm not taking a dog to the shelter. I just feel some kind of way about that. Not that shelters are bad. Dude, let's go. Not that shelters are bad, but I did all the right things. I checked him for Chip. I put him on Facebook. I talked to everybody. I did let the shelter know that we had him. Nobody came looking for him. The vet estimated him to be about 6 months old when we got him. He was a little slimmer than he is now. Not that I would consider him fat by any stretch for a lab, because as a dog groomer, I have seen quite a few labs that are about twice that wide. And if you know anything about labs, they enjoy eating. They will eat just about anything edible. And they always try to tell you they're starving. This one here, he likes anything that crinkles. So if you leave packaged food in a low space or anything he can get into in the trash can, it winds up in his kennel. And we shame him, and it's the cutest thing to see him shamed. And then I feel guilty about it, but we get a kick out of it. It's funny, he found a popped bag of popcorn, and he had to have gotten it. It was in my bag. He had to have gotten it out of my bag. And it was in his kennel. I looked in, that was today. I just looked in there and shook my head. When I took it from him, he wouldn't look at me. He knew that he'd done wrong. But he's my buddy. And he walks with me. Over the years, I've watched him get slower and slower. Makes you a little sad in one way, but then you have to step back and say, I'm just thankful that he's here. Thankful that I have him. Look here, buddy. Got to get him back to the house and get him some water. Anyway, I just thought I'd take you guys on this walk. Share with you the fact that I am going to reaffirm my commitment to losing the weight again and getting more fit again, because I have things that I want to get done, things that are on my list that I want to do before I can't. I hope you guys enjoyed my little walk and talk. Hope you enjoyed being with me, seeing the place a little bit. And I really want to thank you guys, all of you. You're my encouragement. Posting these videos gives me the motivation to do the things that I'm doing. And again, just thanks. I hope that everyone is well and remains well. We're going to go around this corner and head on back home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.